Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want you to close your eyes for just a moment. If you feel comfortable and think about your life, think about the big decisions you made, your career, your friendships, your hobbies. Now ask yourself, how many of those decisions were truly 100% yours? How many of them were even just a little bit influenced by what you thought others wanted you to do? Maybe it's the career path your parents always dreamt of for you, even if it feels empty. Maybe it's the partner you chose because they met everyone else's approval, even if they don't light you up. Or maybe it's the way you present yourself online, a curated version of you designed to get likes and validation. If you ever felt this way, you are not alone. This is a universal struggle. We are conditioned from a very young age to seek approval, to fit in, to make others happy. But what happens when that conditioning takes over? What happens when you build a life that looks good to everyone else but feels foreign to you? So, today we are going to talk about why you need to stop living up to other people's expectations and start living a life that is authentically yours. This isn't just about saying no more often, it's about reclaiming your life, your identity, your happiness. So let's take a deep breath together. Grab a notebook if you want to jot something down, and let's get into it. This is a trap. So why we get caught in the cycle? Before we can break free from this cycle, we have to understand why we fell into it in the first place. This isn't a flaw in your character, it's a deeply ingrained pattern that has been programmed into us for a very, very long time. You know, our ancestors lived in tribes. Being part of the group was not a choice, it's just a matter of survival. If you were cast out, you were vulnerable to the elements and to predators. Our brains are still wired with this primal fear of rejection and abandonment that need to belong to be approved of by the tribe is a powerful force that still drives our behavior today. Yes, we are social creatures, and the fear of being an outcast is a very weird and very old fear. Think back to when you were a child. What did you learn about love and approval? For most of us, we learned that love was conditional. We were praised when we got good grades, when we were good boys and girls, when we did what we were told. We were criticized or punished when we failed to meet those expectations. This taught us a subconscious lesson. My worth is tied to a bit my ability to please others. We learn that to be loved, we have to perform. We carry that lesson into adulthood. And now we constantly seek to earn that love and approval from our parents, our partners, our friends, and even our bosses. And then there's the modern world. We live in an age of constant comparison and judgment. Social media presents a curated, perfect version of people's lives, creating an unspoken expectation that you too must have a perfect life. We feel pressure to have the right job, the perfect relationship, the ideal body, to go on the right vacations. Our culture norms dictate what success looks like. And if your life doesn't fit that mold, you feel like failure. This constant bombardment of shoots makes it incredibly difficult to hear your own inner voice. So you see, This isn't your fault. This is a deep seated behavior rooted in our biology, our upbringing, and our environment. But understanding the trap is the first step to escaping it. We should know the consequence of the living for others' expectations. And it is profound. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a silent killer of authenticity, joy, and peace. When your self-worth is determined by external validation, you are constantly on a roller coaster. You feel good when someone praises you and but terrible when they criticize you. Your sense of value is in someone else's hands. This leads to an endless cycle of people pleasing because you are always trying to earn back a feeling of worth. You become an expert at reading a room and a stranger to your own heart. Your worth becoming um, a performance. In the moment you stop performing, you feel empty. Imagine being an actor who has been playing the same character for so long that they forget who they are in real life. That's what happens when you constantly live up to others' expectations. You put on a mask for your family, a different one for your friends, and other for your colleagues. Over time, you lose touch with your true self. You forget what you are passionate about, what you truly believe, and what makes you the real you is hidden behind a persona built on shoes and masks. You start to feel like a fraud in your own life. And feeling of emptiness, the emotional toll of this is immense. Constantly doing things you don't want to do, saying yes when you mean no, and putting everyone else's needs before your own leads to a quiet but simmering resentment. You get angry at the people you are trying to please, and you get even angrier at yourself for not being able to stop. This leads to emotional and physical burnout. You feel exhausted, anxious, and deeply unfulfilled because you are constantly pouring from an empty cup. And this is perhaps the most tragic cost when you live for other people's expectations, put your own doings on the back burner. Maybe you've always wanted to be an artist, but your family said you should be a lawyer. Maybe you wanted to travel the world, but your partner wanted to settle down. So you push your idea, your desire down and tell yourself they are not important. But those dreams don't just disappear, they become a source of quiet regret. You end up living a life that is safe and approved of. But it's not a life you were meant to live. You are trading your authentic joy for a predictable and fulfilling existence. How do we clean your life? How do we stop? How do we break free from this powerful hold and start living for ourselves? It's not a switch you flip, it's a muscle you train. Here are some actionable steps you can start taking today. First, identify your expectations, not theirs. Before you can stop living for others, you need to know what you are living for. Take out your journal and ask yourself these powerful questions. What do I truly want for my life? If no one else was watching or judging, what are my core values? For example, creativity, honesty, freedom, security. What brings me a deep sense of joy and fulfillment? The goal here is to reconnect with your authentic self. Your answers might be quiet at first because that voice has been silenced for so long. Be patient and listen closely. This is the new blueprint for your life, and it's coming from within you, not from the outside. Step 2. Start with small act of rebellion. You don't need to quit your job or break up with your partner tomorrow. Start small. The goal is to build momentum. When you are at a restaurant, order the meal you really wanted and not the one that's healthier or safer. When you're in a conversation with someone else, when someone asks you to do something, don't immediately say yes. Say, let me check my calendar and get back to you. This gives you space to think and decide without pressure. When you are in your free time, choose a hobby or activity that you genuinely enjoy, even if it's not cool or popular. These small acts of rebellion are like strength training for your no muscle. They show you that it's safe to prioritize your own desires and that the sky won't fall when you do. There are also boundaries. Boundaries are not a way to push people away, they are a way to put yourself closer to yourself. They are a profound act of self love and self respect. When you're with your family, if your family constantly asks about your career or relationship status, you can say, I appreciate your concern, but I'm no longer discussing that topic. Let's talk about something else. When you are with your friends, if a friend is constantly asking you for favors, you can say, I'm so sorry, but I can't this time. I need to prioritize some things for myself. Sometimes at work, you are constantly taking on extra projects. You can say, I'm unable to take on more projects at this time, but thank you for thinking of me. Remember, the reactions is not your responsibility. You're not responsible for managing their emotions. Your only job is to protect your own. When you start to live for yourself, you will inevitably face disapproval. Someone will be upset. Someone will be disappointed. And it will feel uncomfortable. This is the hardest part of the journey. But you have to remember that the disapproval is not a reflection of your own, it's a reflection of your own expectations of you. You have to learn to sit with that discomfort. Remind yourself, I'm not responsible for other people's happiness. My only job is to be responsible for my own. This is a powerful, liberating truth. The ultimate key to breaking free is to remember that you are enough, exactly as you are. You don't need to be smarter, prettier, richer, or more successful to be worthy of love and respect. Your worth is not a prize to be won. It is an inherent quality you were born with. Start a daily practice of affirmations that focus on your inherent worth. Look in the mirror and say, I'm enough. My worth is not up for negotiation. I'm worthy of love and respect just as I am. Breaking free from other people's expectations is not a selfish act. It is the most selfless thing you can do. When you are living an authentic, joyful life, you have more energy, more love, and more passion, more compassion to give the world. You become a better friend, a better partner, and a more joyful person. The journey starts now. It starts with one small no, one moment of quiet reflection, one tiny act of rebellion. Your life is not a performance for others, it's a journey for you. It's the time to take the stage and start playing your own part. Thank you so much for being here today. If this video resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. And in the comments below, I would love to hear from you. What is one small step you are going to take today to start living for yourself? Love you.